I've had a lot. I am going to wait a few minutes to let everybody join us, and I'm going to enjoy my coffee slowly. It looks like we're online in both places. That's a relief. No technological difficulties right this second. Hopefully people start joining us and we can get this party started. Aw, those are beautiful. Somebody just posted the most beautiful picture of a little girl wearing some ninjas. So cute. I don't see us yet. Does anybody see us? Is anybody there? Hello? Hello? I know I'm not talking. Oh, I see 3 people. I don't know who they are, but I see you. All right, let's see. Hello, Tirana. Where is that? I'm intrigued. Good morning. Good morning. So much to do, so little time. Man, you're playing my song. That is definitely. I have just like. It's not even about the kids, right? For me, it's that I have so many things that I want to do. So many things. Good morning. Let's see. I see. Oh, good morning, Ashley. I'm so impressed that you're up this early. Okay, it's not really that early, but you know, you're online. How about that? Good morning. Oh, June, good morning. Tirana is the capital of Albania. I did not learn that in school. I know we're all shocked by that. Oh, sewing up the ruby. That's exciting. I've seen some of those come in. Hi, Nikki. I'm so glad you could join me live. I feel like it's your dinner time, so thank you. Hi. You can at least see me, and I'm talking about you. Hello. I love being able to talk to people from all over the world, and I love feeling like I have little connections, that it's more than just me on my little island. Good morning, Jenny, or good afternoon, Jenny, since it's afternoon there. New Hampshire. Well, today's sale pattern would be perfect for New Hampshire, I think. Aw, Elizabeth, that's awesome. Tina will never tell. Good morning. Okay, I ran in the dark. Wow, I'm impressed. My sister runs at the crack of dawn. I like to sleep at the crack of dawn. Chilly, Maryland. It is chilly here today, too. I don't know if it's quite 48, but I just went out to move the car for the landscapers, and this sweater was perfect. Hey, Tara. I'm so glad you joined us today. I think I missed you yesterday. Just saying, every day. Come on. All right, so today is Thursday. I am going to tell you, I'm just going to be really honest. Things are a little tense at my house this morning. It's not for lack of sleep. I think that the kids went to bed at their normal late hour because that's what life is doing to me right now. But we've had several fights break out this morning. And it's just one of those days. It's a beautiful day outside, so I'm hoping I can get everybody to go outside with me. But man, fighting over pancakes. I'm just saying, things got a little crazy here. Thank you, Heidi. So today, I'm going to talk about this a little bit. The Josephine is on sale. I have made several. I actually have another one here to share with you. But this is my favorite version because it has this fun little crossover neckline. You can't really see the crossover, but it's open right here. And it's just a little different. This is just a, it's not a dress or anything. It's just a normal. I tend to wear a normal shirt more than a tunic. That's just me. That's my style. But this was a really lightweight sweater knit that came from the Fab Clique Fabric Shop's solid subscription. If you've never looked into that, I highly recommend it because she sends just a ton of fabric for the price. And so I think it equates to less than $8 a yard. Don't quote me on that. But for the amount, I'm trying to think. It's something like that, though. And it's just fun. You get seasonal colors. I got this, and actually in just a minute, thank you, Jenny. This is definitely one of the colors I like to wear. I'm definitely a fall color person. You would think that if you're going to fight, pancakes are the thing, but this was about who was going to finish making the pancakes. I don't want to talk ugly about my kids, but the amount of times I said, why are you picking this fight? This morning, just deep breathing exercises. Good morning, Patrina. So this is the Josephine. The Kids Joe is also on sale. Can we see the back under your hair? Sure. I don't know. Does it show up? So, this in a lightweight, it doesn't stand up as well. It wants to like fold over, but I like it. And then some people have done a little bit thicker. I wouldn't do this in like a sweatshirt fleece because then it would be like, although, I don't know. Thank you. I really like this color too. This is, yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my go-tos. Hold on, let me show you another one. So the Josephine has a ton of options. Wow, 97. And this is one of them. Sorry, it's not already. Boop, boop, boop. This is another French terry that I paired with polka dots. You guys know how I love my polka dots. Why can't I hold this straight? But like a tunic or a dress with the wide band at the bottom. This is a favorite for, well, I like the sporty dress look. That is sort of my jam. But then, oh, I saw that one, Tara, by the way. I really like the sporty sweatshirt dress look with the band on the bottom, and my girls absolutely love it. One of the favorite things I like, can you hear this? Deep breathing. Hopefully everybody got on their class. Oh, I think they're 7 minutes late for a 15-minute class. Deep breathing, okay. One of my favorite things about the Kids Joe is that it's unisex, and I will show you what I mean. I already pulled up photos. I'm so proud of myself. So let me actually get to the photos. Here we go. Now I don't know what you're, oh, okay, good. You're seeing what I'm seeing, but then it confuses me. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now I can see everything that you're seeing. So this is my crew right here. And you can see my next picture in the background, so I'm going to hide it. So I made everybody one option. And these are all French terry that came in a bundle, and we're obsessed with them. But then, let me close out that one. Here they all are being their normal selves. They love both the cowl neck and the sweatshirt band. And then little Stella loves the version with the gathered skirt on the bottom. It's perfect for like a sweatshirt on top and then a thinner jersey on the bottom. I love this version that Laura did. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. But this one, Laura, I know she knows this already, is my favorite. It's just so cute. I love it so much. Thank you. Oh, Pam, they have like 45-minute breaks between classes. And so it's just enough time for me to sink my teeth into something work-related. And then we're late. And my 15-minute class, it's like, really? I even set an Alexa alarm for 9:55. So, yeah, anyway. Oh, you use your Josephine crop top almost every day. That's impressive. It is super cute with leggings. This is the one that my baby and I made. So this is Kellen. I made him that matching neckline to mine in the alternate colorway of the same sweater material that I got from Fab Clique. So cute. That's my boy. He cut all his hair off. So both of these are on sale. We went ahead and marked the kids version down to $5 as well. So you can grab both of these for $5 each today. That's pretty money. It is. I love a pattern that I can use for boys and girls. All different stuff. I mean, this one is one of those that probably has too many options. I'll be perfectly honest. Because, Vic, that is like, remind me where you live? That is my fear. That's totally, yep. Okay, I don't want to focus on that. I got to focus on positive, happy things like Junior Mints. That's the first thing I saw. That is a candy of choice on my desk here. That is one of my biggest fears. All right. So I'm going to close out of all of these because I love a pattern that I can use for all of my kids. That's what I was trying to say. Oh, in the UK. Well, the same as here. We're going back face-to-face starting next week. I think it's 5 days. Or maybe next week it's 2 days and then the week after. But what's funny is they have fall break. One county nearby has a whole week off, and we have a 4-day weekend. And all the families are going to the beach and going here and there, and then they're going to come back. Oh my gosh, Tara, we are like MFEO. We're made for each other. But, they're all coming back from out of town, and I'm so stressed by this decision because every day I think I'm losing my mind. So there's no judgment here on what you choose to do with your family because I go back and forth minute to minute. I am not going to lie. This is a lot of my day. All right, so let's talk about sewing because that makes my heart a lot happier. Deep breathing. Hopefully, if you're over on Facebook, you saw Marilyn's post. Let me see if I can bring this over and share it with you. I'm going to show this to you really quickly, and then I'm going to switch back to me because I really, really, really want you to go over and look at her post. Marilyn joined with the founding members launch back in May. She joined the 5 out of 4 family. I'm getting a little teary-eyed, Marilyn. And she just posted 25 items, and it's just the exponential growth. And it's just from the encouragement and the help that we're able to provide and the supportive atmosphere, and just get your juices flowing and you're sewing. And I love how much she's done. It's just been amazing to watch. So Marilyn, thank you so much. She shared her story on the 5 out of 4 patterns page. Go over and share some love because it's an awesome story and it makes my heart so happy. Margie, I struggle with putting so much into a pattern that I never get to see that option made. And Joe is a perfect example of that because that little dress version for Stella, it actually, not last winter, but the winter before. So this would be like winter of 2018. I had that as a separate pattern. And in my heart, I was like, well, women aren't really going to, wear a sweatshirt with the dress underneath it. I don't know. Okay, maybe just me. But I think it's so cute on the littles. And it's just, you have little bits of sweatshirt fleece left over or just fleece left over or whatever. And then you can pair it with any sort of patterned cotton jersey, cotton lycra, etc. And so I just wanted to lump it in there, but we never get to see it because people forget that it's an option. But on the other side, I don't want to just change a neckline and offer a whole new pattern. You know what I mean? And so, sorry, I can hear the roller skates starting. So it's really a struggle. The struggle is real, but I never, ever, ever wanted to do the add-ons. No, that's not my jam. Never to. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Florida's so hard because you got all the tourists coming in. Know what I mean? Anyway. Oh, thank you, Margie. So I want to see more of those little cute dresses with the sweatshirt on top and the skirt on the bottom. I think I'll make another one for Stella because although Stella kind of stays in pajamas 24/7. I mean, we don't call them pajamas. We just call them clothes. Don't we all wish we could stay in pajamas 24/7? So grab your copies of Josephine and Joe on sale today for $5 each. Yesterday we talked a little bit about some hesitations you might have. One hesitation that has come up that I quite honestly wish I could solve, but I can't, is the Facebook. The Facebook. I will be 100% honest. I was probably one of the last people to join Facebook. Obviously, I've been on here for 5 years. I probably joined right in 2012, 2011. I mean, my grandmother was on Facebook before me, I'll be honest. I just didn't want to be a part of it. And here I am. And so we've had a couple of emails come in who are like, I don't want to be on Facebook. And I hear you. I wish with my whole heart I could have a community somewhere else. But the fact is that the companies that offer those communities off of Facebook, there are a couple. And if you're in the homeschooling world, they're very popular with the homeschooling world because they don't want to be on Facebook either. But they Oh, Laura just told me something important. Thank you, Laura. Um, it they're just not as robust. And so you don't get the same option for like the video rooms where we can do book club right there. We had to actually switch to Zoom last week for my book club. Oh gosh, that was this week. Man, it feels like last week. um, but we had to switch to Zoom and then we got cut off at 40 minutes and then we had to rejoin to keep talking and keep chatting. And Facebook doesn't put that sort of limitations on you. But there's so much that I can do within Facebook. And I know there's going to come a day where Facebook's like, oh, let's start charging the small companies. And that's when I'll look off. Because where we have our membership platform, Kajabi, they have a community aspect to it, but it just like, it's hard to see the posts. It doesn't update in the same way. And frankly, I would say probably 95 to even 99% of 5 out of 4 buyers are already on Facebook. And so once you're already scrolling, it's easy to remember to go look. But if I had it on another platform, it's really hard to get the same people to go to a different website. It just, MeWe. I have never heard of MeWe, Mary. I will check it out. But for right now, we're on Facebook. It's here. I have pros and cons in my head, but it's here. It's hard to find the alternative. It really is. So, that was one of the hesitations that came up. Another hesitation that I shared April's video that I showed yesterday. I shared it in the 5 out of 4 patterns group today. I hope you give it a watch because it is definitely one of the, sorry, I'm going to go ahead and set up today's while I'm talking to you. How about that? But it definitely gets your juices flowing for what your hesitations might be. Facebook is how I found 5 out of 4. I think that, wow, Debbie, that's, that says a lot. Facebook does a lot of marketing for me, which is hilarious to me because we get a ton of people who are like, Facebook suggested it. Facebook suggested it. And yeah, it doesn't, it's a private group. Stephanie, that's true. Thank you for jogging my memory on that. One thing about Facebook is we do make the group fat, the words are escaping me. We make the group private so people can't see who is in it. But then beyond that, once registration closes, I actually make it to where where it's hidden. And the reason I do that is because we get a lot of people. Before I did that, I would get people who are meaning to join the main 5 out of 4 patterns group and they would accidentally join the family and then it was like just confusing. So that's really the only reason. But we actually do have quite a few people who use pseudonyms. And it's because they either don't want to be on Facebook at all or they don't want other people to know they're on Facebook. Totally fine too. And they just let me know that, hey, this is me. Here's my real name. And I'm able to let them in. Good morning. Oh, it's your first live. Hello. Good morning. So, Dixie, I'm the same way. I pretty much don't scroll. I just go to my groups that I want to visit. Sometimes I'll get caught scrolling, but I really try hard not to. Oh, thank you, Mary, for sending me the link. Laura just reminded me, this is a perfect time to buy Josephine and Joe at half price because it's the October sew-along. How about that? That's amazing. Why didn't I think of that? So this is a perfect time to get it 50% off. I'm sure we'll offer it leading up to the sew-along, but 50% off, y'all, come on. Sewing and fabric groups. We're really taking over. Good morning, Jenny. I'm glad you could join us. Oh, what's for breakfast? I had pancakes for breakfast. Hence the conversation where my kids were fighting over it. Usually Lucky Charms are a snack. It's kind of disgusting, and I really need to go on. I'm embarrassed that I just admitted that I eat them. It is a weak habit. Yes, I'm turning red. So yesterday we did the bingo card. And I had a really hard time coming up with all of the words for bingo. And so I was asking my team, and it was pretty funny, our conversation based on that. And it turns out everybody was able to get bingo yesterday. That is not what I wanted to have happen. But let's fill out the whole cards for the end of the week. So make sure you get... Ooh, June just got fabric. June, am I pronouncing your name right? Because I want to make sure that I'm not just talking to somebody random. But like if you could do it phonetically, if I'm messing it up, that might help me. Or send me a PM with a I'm a anyways. I hope I'm saying it right. Lucky Charms are definitely not a breakfast, they're a snack. So I was a little upset that I couldn't plan what I was saying, and I'm not that smart, I guess. But so we have quite a few people who already got the bingo just straight across. But hopefully you can fill out the whole board, or just go ahead and enter in your card for your chance to win the $50 Amazon gift card, because it's definitely going to be up for grabs. It's going to be chosen randomly. Ooh, the Halloween junk cereals. Count Chocula in the house. You know, I haven't had that for years, and I'm pretty sure that it probably tastes a lot like Lucky Charms, honestly. All right. So funny. I'm just catching up on questions, making sure I'm seeing everybody. Definitely don't forget to post your bingo cards. Everybody can have a chance. I used to love Raisin Bran, and then you look at the sugar content. Sugar is my arch nemesis. Today I have another video I want to share with you, and this is a compilation of, I think I did 3. It's still not very long. It's only like a minute and a half, but hopefully you don't mind watching it with me, because I think that it's another one that, like, my ears, my eyes will get a little teary-eyed, because this really is a dream come true for me. I spend a lot of my time talking about this, and it's just so important to me. With the amount of children that I have and my rather introverted nature, I spend a lot of my time driving. I've mentioned before that in 2019, I put 30,000 miles on the car. And that was not driving to Ottawa and back. That was just driving around here and maybe like one trip to the beach. And it was just the amount of activities 6 kids can do, right? My hip is still paying for it. And so I really struggle with building real connections outside of acquaintances that I meet at my kids' activities. And that was partly what kind of prompted this, is I wanted to meet more people who are sewing. And actually, Michelle Wagner, give her a shout out. I'm not sure if she's online or not, but it turns out she lives less than probably 3 miles from me. And she is responsible, if you can see it, I'm pointing the wrong way. Right there. Is a drawing she sent to me. It's an ink drawing on top of a watercolor of a sewing machine. And I'm actually working on some 5 out of 4 merchandise to go with that. I'm pretty excited about it. But she lives so close, and I reached out to her because I'm interested in doing ink over my watercolors. Just as, I don't know, I've never done that before. And now she's like telling me all these sketchbook things that she's in, and all these options around Atlanta that I can do. And then we were talking about socially distancing and drawing together somewhere at a park, or just in my driveway or her driveway. But it was really nice. Like, I would have never made that connection outside of the 5 out of 4 family, which I love. I love that we are building a community and building deeper connections. The amount of people, I think I shared with you that Sherry in Texas had a daughter in New York, and we found, I think it was Valerie, I hope I'm not wrong with who it was, has a bakery in New York and was able to deliver birthday cookies to her daughter, all because of the 5 out of 4 family. Like, that's the kind of stuff that makes my heart just scream with joy. So I'm pretty pumped. Sewing buddy Aubrey, where do you live? I'm sure that we can find somebody. All right, so I'm going to share this video, and this includes people from all over the world. So hopefully you enjoy it.
My biggest win since joining the 5 out of 4 family definitely is the connections that I've made with other sewists. I don't have any local sewing friends, nobody else that I know who sews except for my mom. So it's been really nice to make some sewing friends that are passionate about the same things as me.
Some of my many favorite things about the family are the closer friendships that I've made within my peer group, the variety of different books that I've read now that I've been back to reading a little more, the ability to ask questions and share makes that aren't just my 5 out of 4 patterns without judgment. And I'm excited to have more family members come and join us.
The 5 out of 4 family is so much more for me than a community. It's my chosen family, and if there's something, I can always ask someone to talk. There's always someone that's willing to listen. They say it takes a village, and the 5 out of 4 family is my village.
Seriously, that makes my heart just explode with joy. The amount of times I've just been on book club and I have been chatting, and then we talk about one of my loves, Jane Austen. Oh my gosh, another one for the bingo card. So I can relate Jane Austen to almost everything. Any book that I'm reading, I'm like, oh, it's like in Emma. Oh, it's like in Persuasion. And so it's kind of a joke, but I bring up Jane Austen a lot. And there's usually somebody who can connect with me. And I value that so much, that those connections. And my husband is like, hey, can we do book club a little earlier in the day? And I'm like, no, not with all the kids around. Like, I have to have that time where I can connect with people. It's been really nice. And one of our hopes, yay, is that we can start doing meetings in real life as the lockdowns start to fade and we figure out this COVID mess. Because I really think that would be amazing. I want to take my little family out in an RV and just travel around the United States and be like, I'm in Albuquerque, Joan, and meet up with people. I just think that would be so fun. Oh, Debbie, you're right. Lauren, I am happy to talk about the Jane Austen Society Book Club anytime. Just tell me, we'll set up another date. We've got a couple people who are as obsessed as I am, and that book is absolutely lovely. And I'm in the middle of reading it with my husband again, so no problem. I actually just bought that annotated version of Pride and Prejudice. That's going to take me like a year to get through. That's funny, Sherry. I have never thought that deeply about Dr. Seuss. I mean, I've read a ton of them, and we own a lot of them. So today we are talking about stage 3. So let me pull up my stage 3 here. Oh, it is so fun to have local meetups. I dream of having a retreat, and I was in the talks with an event planner right as COVID started. We were meeting at a coffee shop to talk over like how to help me plan this, because that's Anne of Green Gables is one of my favorites, and there's an Audible version where Rachel McAdams reads Anne of Green Gables, and I will honestly say it is my favorite Audible version of Anne of Green Gables. It is absolutely amazing, and when I really want to go to Prince Edward Island, and my husband knows it. He's on board. He loves Anne too, and so she's like and we always talk about bosom buddies. I think my kids really thought that they were going to have like best friends here in the neighborhood when they moved in. And unfortunately we have no kids. Oh, Gilbert. And you know what's funny is I read this, it's a terrible name and I'm embarrassed to say it out loud, but it was a book series called Bookish Boyfriends. I'm back in high school, I know, or even middle school. But it was like retellings of stories, but among like young adult crowd. And there's one where they talk about Gilbert, and it's just so cute. They've already done Anne of Green Gables, Jo March, Little Women, and Pride and Prejudice, and it was just adorable. But don't get the Audible versions of those because the reader is super terribly whiny and just. Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorites. It's so fun. It is so fun, and we even. Oh, I'll have to look at that, Sherry. We've even watched the 1935 version with Omar Sharif, right? Is that who it? No, wait. Anyway, we watched that one with the family, and then my oldest and I can talk about like how they changed it because it's a huge change at the end. Oh, so cute. I love Little Women. And I love Jane Eyre. The annotated version of Jane Eyre is really interesting. So I love reading. This month, I actually need to post it today. I started reading the prequel to The Hunger Games. So I'm kind of at both ends of the spectrum here. So it's Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I almost didn't read it, and then we started talking about it during another book club, and it got me more interested in it. So I am already on to part 2. And I'm going to post that for October's book club, probably the end of October. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. I didn't enjoy the book, but I really enjoyed the movie because it was just, oh. I always used to say when I was in school, like, sports saved me because I was a super nerd with social skills and I was also super athletic. And so I didn't have to try that hard. But yeah, I love The Hunger Games. It's one of my favorites. Oh, Angela, that's hilarious. The movie's fantastic because it's Lily James and they're just I don't think I can say that word on YouTube. They're just awesome. Super strong female characters. I do now. Now I'm all about the nerddom, don't worry. See, I'm not alone. The book is definitely... All right. So let's move on to... I hear you, Sherry. I'll check it out. Man, you guys are super active in the comments. And on Facebook, I can see the top 4 and who said it, which is part of my thing. I can see YouTube on my Ecamm Live here, so I really enjoy being able to see the names. But trying to keep up with everybody's like a full-time job. Now I understand when I'm watching live videos, a lot of times if the person on the video is a woman, her husband will actually be helping with the comments and pulling them on screen for her. I find that fascinating. My dream is for Jeff, my husband, to quit his full-time job so that he no longer has to travel. Partly because he doesn't have to travel right now due to COVID, and when he has to go back to traveling, I think it's going to be very rough on us because we're so used to having him home. Wait, Jen, I don't know what you're wondering. I think I'm missing a comment. Oh, and I can't scroll back up. All right. So today, stage 3, hooked on a feeling. I remember this stage incredibly well. So if you watched on day 1 when I shared a lot of photos from my sewing journey, oh, thank you. I really started ramping up the number of hours per day I was sewing, and a lot of this had to do with all of my kids were too little to be in activities. We moved to a new town where we had no friends and no connections at all outside of my parents and in-laws. I was breastfeeding twins, and I had them on a very strict schedule to where I put them in bed every night at 6:30. I secretly long for that schedule now. I really do. Oh, gotcha. We have lots of nerd conversations. So part of what that was is just the number of hours that I was focusing on it. And even now, we've talked a little bit about how, is the group name the same? Yes, it's 5 out of 4 PDF patterns group. So Lolita, to answer your question. But we talk a lot about how sometimes you have to take a break from sewing, whether life gets in the way or you're just busy doing other things. I'm trying to balance real exercise, my painting, as I'm trying to improve my painting skills, with sewing. And also, I really want to actually hook my projector up to my computer, and I just, like, the amount of hours needed to focus on one thing at a time, sometimes it's hard, and so it just gets pushed to the side, and then you come back to it and you realize how much you miss it, and then also how you have to, like, kind of get back into the habit. And so what really frustrates me is when my top stitching isn't perfect. Well, okay, we've talked about perfectionism too, which reminds me, I found that book. But like if I haven't been doing it daily and I'm not in the routine and I've got all the quirks of my machines, knowing how to deal with them quickly type thing, then all of a sudden it's like I got to relearn a few things. It's so frustrating to me because I know how to do it, but it's just like getting back in the habits, right? The successful habits. And so stage 3 is definitely where you're just on that, like on the roller coaster, and not like a negative, positive roller coaster, but just really like enjoying the process of making. And you're realizing, like, for me, it is truly a time of meditation and calm. And if you like prayer, whatever direction your thoughts go, it is just a time for me and my thoughts. I would say that 75% of the time, maybe even 90% of the time, I don't watch a video or listen to a podcast or listen to a book while I'm sewing. Most of the time, especially if I'm working on a new pattern, because I'm trying to figure out the construction, and that's my jam. Like, I love the logic problems behind things. That's what led me into pattern making to begin with, was just the puzzle. I was never happy making the same thing repeatedly. Oh, I hear screaming in the background. My house is not soundproof, in case you're wondering. It's like Lord of the Flies out there. Oh, Colleen, I find so much joy in that, especially when I don't mess it up. So stage 3 is called Hooked on a Feeling. And it's really about wanting to sew all the time. You like using maybe some of those special stitches. Like, I remember the hearts that I did on some of the top stitching. And you can, you're at the point where you maybe understand color blocking and you can show other people how to do it, and you never forget to add the seam allowance. See what I did there? But there's still so much to learn too. It's about quality fabric. And I mean, we talk a lot about buying fabric online. I know for me, gotta get my compass. I live in the northwest portion above Atlanta, but there's no fabric store near me outside of Joann. And Hancock's has some knits, but not a lot. And it's not near me. Let me be perfectly clear. That's a good 30 minutes away. But there's another one called Fine Fabrics, which is like a huge warehouse. I cannot take the kids, and it's an hour away. And so for me, I like to shop online. But I remember that jump to shopping online was really stressful because I don't know what I'm getting, and I can't feel it in my hands, and that tactile response to what a fabric feels like. I've definitely had some duds, one of which was when I was making those Wonder Woman dresses for my Etsy store. I wanted to try and save money, so I found a blue with white stars, and it was so rough, and I would have never wanted to put it on my children, and I stupidly washed it before I complained about it, and then I couldn't return it because it didn't soften up at all. Oh, it was so frustrating. Oh, I said Hancock's. Our Hancock's closed too. I meant Hobby Lobby. That was the one I was thinking of. Hancock's was amazing. I loved it. It was still about 30 minutes away, but I loved that store. It was my store of choice, I'm not gonna lie. They had like the clearance fabrics too, but one of my favorite yoga pants was just clearance fabric from Hancock. See, that's a good idea. The fabric swatches and mystery boxes. That is a good idea. Grocery shopping is an hour away. I would probably get better at planning meals, wouldn't I, Kelsey? So I've really gotten fairly good at ordering online. I get a little frustrated when websites don't hold my fabric in my cart because most of the time I get interrupted and have to walk away and then come back. And when it empties my cart out and I'm just like, I have to start all over. It just drives me nuts. So when you're at stage 3, you're like knits. You're making that jump. You're figuring out you probably got a serger or not. I mean, maybe you don't even want a serger. I would sew on my serger more than my sewing machine. But you're willing to try things. You're willing to try darts and zippers and buttons and toggles and whatever else. But pleats, we talked about shirring yesterday. Things to watch out for. I actually saw this pop up in another sewing group on Facebook. I cannot keep. Yeah, is it Beverly Fabrics? We have Gale Fabrics, not Beverly. Good morning, Lori. The comments are coming fast and furious, and I'm like, but also bathing suits. One of my favorite things to make, which is why we did the swim workshop, are bathing suits, because I love having bathing suits that don't come from Target. First off, my kid, and it's not a knock against Target. I do have a Target 1 mile away from my house, and that is dangerous. But I love having like specialty fabrics in my kids' bathing suits and in my own. It's just so fun because part of our issue is, I'll take my 12-year-old Jenny for an example. She is the height of a 12-year-old. She's right at the 50th percentile finally. But her waist is closer to a size 7, right? And I mean, it's just teeny tiny. So if I buy her a size 12 anything for the rise, because I don't want it super low, it just falls right off. There's just no chance. And so I love to be able to make my own. And part of the perk of the 5 out of 4 family is you get the swim workshop. You get it right away. So you can go through all of that and learn how to make your own swimsuit. As long as you're a 5 out of 4 family member, you will always have access to that as well. And any other courses. I have some other ideas for courses. I didn't quite make them happen this fall, but I definitely have a few churning in the background because I love doing the courses. I love being able to focus on one thing and like show you as much as possible about that one thing. So if you have any ideas for a course, by all means, let me know. So stage 3 is probably one of my favorites. It's just this exponential growth. It's a good time to take on something like the Meg dress for the holidays because it has darts and you can really learn how to do, like, it's starting into fit adjustments. Like, it's not just whipping stuff up all the time, but maybe for kids, sure, you're starting to learn that your 8-year-old who is just at the door, she needs the rise of an 8-year-old, but again, the waist of a 5-year-old, or the hips of an 8-year-old and the waist of a 5-year-old, whatever. There's so much like that. I loved stage 3. I just love that exponential growth. See, Colleen, there you go. I think that it's really common in kids, and it's what makes drafting kids' patterns so difficult. Not drafting them, testing them, because we never get a tester who's like, I fit perfectly into a size 8. No. That is by far the minority. Kids are all over the place, especially as toddlers. I mean, their little bodies are growing so fast and at different rates. It's just bananas. Man, if you go back to Monday and check out that video, you'll see my first leotards that I made for Jenny and Reevy out of lame. I don't even know what I would use it for. A zipper foot on a knit or on a woven, Melissa? On a knit, make sure you've got a walking foot and some stabilizer in there. Yesterday, the Donna was on sale, and my sister texted me and said, I need one of those for Christmas. So I told her that at my current rate, it would probably be $20.25 because with the kids here, I have a lot of help. Oh my goodness. So one of the things that we really, really, really try, athletic performance. Yeah, I would still say the same things. Walking foot. I love my walking foot. My new machine is actually kind of amazing. So the machine before this, I had a walking foot that just hooked on the bottom. It was a Husqvarna Viking Emerald 183, which they don't make anymore. And it was a finicky machine. I bought it used, so I think it was even more finicky. But the walking foot just attached to the bottom, and I left it on all the time. That's how addicted to the walking foot I got. And now my my new sewing machine, I realized I don't always need the walking foot. People would tell me that, oh, I don't need a walking foot. And I'm like, wait, what? When you're top stitching knits, you don't need a walking foot? Now, I've done both, and I still kind of prefer swimsuits. I still put on the walking foot, but it's been really interesting. I love my walking foot. It was expensive with the Husqvarna. It was an extra $100. Lindsay, what machine do you have with your walking foot? I think the reason if you're looking for a new sewing machine, like an entry-level machine, there's a Brother out there that's sold on Amazon, and every Black Friday, which for people outside the United States, that's the day after Thanksgiving, and there's lots of jokes around that. Amazon puts it on sale sometime on that weekend, and they really knock the price down pretty low, but it comes with a walking foot. A walking foot keeps knits from stretching out while sewing. Yes, so it helps the top fabric move as the same rate as the bottom fabric. And so that way you don't get the pulling and the wavy seams and stuff that you might get without it. And there are definitely ways to do it without a walking foot. Like you have to change how hard the pressure is on your presser foot and stuff like that. But I bought my walking foot for quilting too. And then I quickly realized how great it was for everything else. A Juki. Oh, you know what? I think Laura sews with a Juki, but I have never sewn on a Juki before. But definitely break it out. So I thought that my Baby Lock had a built-in walking foot, and it's really bizarre. Let me show you. So this is one of those things that I actually need to go to my fabric store or my sewing store here in Atlanta where I bought my machine, because this is the largest walking foot I've ever seen. And it plugs into the back and goes around the shank or whatever you call it. I mean, it's just enormous. I'm like, really? This is what this size machine got me? And so I feel like I'm missing something because it doesn't need to be this big. I don't know. I need to figure that out. But I do use it. It is life-changing is a good way to put the It is more noisy with the walking foot. Yes. Sorry, I missed that question, Jenny. And you know what? One thing I've realized is, oh, mine, Leslie? It's the Baby Lock Aria. I definitely didn't go in for that one. Beware. But it's amazing. They tried to talk me into the one above it, and I was like, I don't need a laser to show me a straight line. Like, I'm feeling pretty good about that. You know, I did have, my first one was non-computerized, and I wish I had kept it for the kids. I sold it so that I could then get a serger. But it's so nice to have the non-computerized, because that was partly what happened with my Viking or Husqvarna 183, is that sometimes I would turn it on and the computer wouldn't come on. And it was just, I mean, again, I bought it used and then I used it for over 10 years, I think. It is huge. It's like I mean, and I don't really understand why, like it's very different from my old walking foot. I don't know. I'm sure it's going to be one of those things like, oh, I just need to get to the store without children, right? Which brother it is. I don't think you're talking to me, Angela. See, that's one thing that I can't see in the live video is if somebody's responding. Oh, I can't. No, I can tell you. Oh, I loaned it to my mother, but I will definitely show you. I don't have to send a DM. I can post it. Oh, kids. Mine are quiet now, so now I'm worried. You like the laser line, Dixie. That's fascinating. I have the thread cutter. That's game changing. I will say that. A roller foot. Maybe that's what this really is, Debbie. I wonder. See, now I'm going to call them. The CS6000i. Is that the one that I'm talking about, Amy? They have... Why can't they just be called something cute like Ruth or... I don't know. Not that I can keep the names of my patterns in check. Hi, Leslie. One of our recent interviews, so as part of the 5 out of 4 family, once a month I try and interview either a fabric or a pattern designer. And last month was Leslie Haynes from Discovery Fabrics. And man, we were taking notes like mad. Her knowledge of technical fabrics just blew my mind. Like, there's so much I want to try. Like, my sister sent me an old Nike running shirt of hers. She wants me to remake it because she bought a white running shirt. I don't wear white because of this, but it finally just got too much. And so I want to recreate it for her. But yeah, the amount of notes in that conversation were amazing. And that interview is actually on our content library. So if you're joining today or this week, you can find it. I even labeled it so you know which one it is. Jenny, I feel the same way. I need to go back and watch it. Oh, funny. Use one for leather. You know what? That makes sense. I just need to ask. All right, folks. That about covers what we have today. I am ready. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. I'm going to go back and look. But we were talking about perfectionism in kids, I think on Monday. This was the book I was talking about. The Girl Who Never Makes Mistakes by Mark Pett, P-E-T-T, and Gary Rubenstein. We love this book in my family. We talk about it a lot. because we have a ton of perfectionists in my family. I will go back to that thread and try and find the contents. Facebook doesn't always play nice, I'll be honest. I was dyeing heavyweight WinPro fleece. That's amazing. See, Leslie, I just need a job. I'll work part-time for you, and we'll have lots of fun playing with fabric. And I'll live in Canada. See how that works? Yellow pits. There you go. It was that, and I think she had a fall one time where she actually hit her face, and so then it had blood on it. It was fierce. Discovery Fabrics is amazing. Anytime I want to make any sort of specialty, not even just specialty, but like high quality fleece, I like to use that for my husband to make him the Sierra fleece pullover and the vest. I love it. Oh, I'm hired. I'm moving. Don't Let Mistakes Make You Quake. It's a great workbook for kids too. Ooh, Ashley, I need to look that up. All right, I'm going to sign off before I keep you here all day. As always, never stop sewing, never stop growing. Take care and join me tomorrow for our last day together, all right? And if you're interested, go check out the 5 out of 4 family. You can pay by the month. You can quit anytime. There's no strings attached. Give us a try. I'm pretty sure you'll choose to stay. I'm pretty confident in that. But if you have any questions, just reach out. I'm here. Take care.